I want to bring in Dan Riskin. He's a biologist. He's author as well of Mother Nature is Trying to Kill You, and he's host of Monsters Inside Me on Animal Planet. Dan, when you look at this, I suppose one of the first questions is, do these dogs pose a health risk if they've been in proximity as they would be with their owners? Does it make health sense to euthanize them as a precaution to save other people from getting infected?
The first thing you have to know about Ebola is that it absolutely can jump between species. That's its MO. That's how it rolls. That's where it came from. We got it from other animals. It got into humans. Chimpanzees get the disease. It kills them. Gorillas get the disease. It kills them. And so the question is, can it get into a dog? And then can it get from a dog into more people and spread the disease? The answers are, for the first question, can it get into a dog? Yes. They've shown that dogs in Africa, in places where Ebola outbreaks have happened, the dogs have immune responses that indicate that they have been exposed to the Ebola virus, and the Ebola virus has gotten into their bodies. So we know that part is possible. As to whether they can pass it on to more people, we don't know. There's no data on that at all. So I think that in Spain, they absolutely made the right call. I love dogs. I think Bentley's adorable. It breaks my heart to think of Bentley being put down. But a little bit, Ebola is worse. Ebola is really scary. And if you have a dog that could very really pose a threat, I think that you have to take the safe route, because people's lives could be at stake.
So why would Spain make that decision to euthanize the dog, as it did, the dog of the nurse there, and the U.S. not do the same thing here? In fact, they're letting the dog be taken care of by the hazmat company that cleaned her apartment. Why the difference?
I don't know. I'm surprised that they've taken that route in Texas, and I'm not sure if it's just that there's not a policy in place. I'm sure if you went around and asked at the CDC, you'd get a variety of opinions, but I think my guess is that they would fall closer in line with what I'm saying. The dog, not only, I mean, it's one thing to put it in a quarantine for a few days or 21 days or whatever they're talking about, but there's no reason we don't know that the quarantine period for a dog has any correlation to the quarantine period for a person. It's quite possible that the dog, if it doesn't get sick in the first 24 hours, is going to be fine. And it's also possible that a dog can hold on to that virus for 3 months before it starts to get sick. Or it's possible the dog doesn't get sick. It's just fine, but every time it poops on the sidewalk, it dumps a whole bunch of virus. And then what happens to that? I mean, when this is all said and done, and I hope that the nurse is fine, I wouldn't want that dog pooping on my lawn. That's what it comes down to. I mean, they can test the dog to see if its immune system has come into contact with Ebola, but I don't feel like I would ever be 100% sure, because no one's ever done controlled studies on dogs and Ebola this way before.
Right, and we know that that's one of the places, waste is where it has some of the highest concentration of the virus, and that's why nurses and other healthcare workers in such proximity to the possibility of getting the disease. I wonder, you handle pets all the time. People love their pets. I love dogs as well. They have a very emotional connection to them. At the same time, there's an emotional response to this disease. There's a lot of fear, some of it undue. In your view, is this drive to euthanize the pets as a precaution, is it part of that unjustified fear, or is it a justified fear?
Well, I mean, when all's said and done, this dog probably isn't going to make that big a difference. Even if it does carry the virus, and even if it did lead to 1 or 2 more people getting the virus, I think that's all that would happen. On the other side of the world, though, we have the World Health Organization saying that we're going to be looking at 10,000 new cases of human Ebola every week. And that is the raging out-of-control fire that everybody needs to face. I mean, we're all looking at North America and saying, oh, are we okay if a spark lands on our field to stop it from becoming a big fire? But there's a raging fire in the field on the other side of the planet, and we need to put that fire out so that no more sparks are coming this way. I mean, really, the dog is a little bit of a distraction. I think that the dog is a hazard, but I think that the amount of effort that's put into thinking about this dog, let's just throw some money at this and try to get the disease cured in West Africa, where it's really killing people.
Understood. A wildfire, and that's a metaphor a lot of people are using, because it does spread so quickly and hard to put out. Thank you very much to Dan Riskin. Great to have you on.